Do you feel like you're put in a situation where you know what you have to say, but as soon as you try to speak, the words aren't coming out of your mouth? Or to put it more accurately, they aren't coming out as effectively as you would want them to. We know what we want to say, we want to speak in a particular flow, but we're not sure how to do that. So let's address that in this video. Now, when it comes to trying to speak in a flow, mumbling and having the confidence break, it's something I've had a lot of experience with. And it got so bad to a point where people would actually call me blabbermouth, because when I would speak a sentence, I would kind of sound like this, but only the last word or the last two words were clearly audible. And it took me a long time to understand how to get over this problem, because I tried a lot of different solutions. There are a lot of exercises that you can do to sound more articulate and reduce your mumbling. For example, you can take a pen or a pencil and put it in your mouth and try speaking then. So it kind of looks like this. Now talking and trying to do this exercise. As stupid as that looks, it does help a lot of people. Another way to do it is humming or lip trills. These things are useful. They are generally taught by a lot of vocal coaches, but it's something that didn't really help me. And I wanted something a lot more direct and something that I could apply seamlessly into my routine. So I want to discuss one simple technique which I have been applying that has helped me reduce my mumbling and has tremendously helped me with clarity of speech, especially in situations where I'm feeling particularly nervous. Before we dive into it, if you like such communications content, please subscribe to our channel. It's a small click for you, but it really helps us. Do get a lot of value in return. Okay, so when it comes to mumbling, there's a very simple two-part process. The first half is reduction and the other is addition. Reduction is all about your WPM. WPM stands for words per minute. And it essentially means the more words per minute you have, the faster you go and vice versa. And when you have a higher word count, you automatically are going to be mumbling more. That doesn't mean if you're a naturally fast speaker, you have to mumble. There is a way to contradict that, but you can speak fast without having to mumble. That's where the second part comes in, which I'll get to in a moment. First, let's address WPM. If we are naturally fast speakers, we have to get used to a slower style of speaking. And the best way to do this is to do something called as a readability test. Just go online and pick up any one paragraph or pick up a book. Whatever you're reading has to be approximately 2 minutes long. Now, just read this thing out loud like you're normally having a conversation. Once you do that, count the number of words that you read. If this is online, you can copy paste it to a Word document and get the count automatically. If not, you'll have to manually count it. So pick whatever works best for you. And when you speak for 2 minutes, make sure you speak for 2 minutes exactly. And stop at the very word where 2 minutes are completed. How many ever words you read, let's say they are about 400 words. That means your WPM is 200 words per minute. Now, the important thing to keep in mind here is the average WPM, at least in English, is hovering between 140 to 150. We ideally want to be much lower than the average, especially if we are naturally fast speakers. If you are somebody who's at 200, like I mentioned in the example, that's way too fast. And it's going to result in a lot more mumbling and much lesser clarity. And once you have your base WPM set, you now want to pick up a random topic from online. The best way to do it is go on ChatGPT, ask it for relevant topics regarding your industry or whatever you're into. Pick one topic out and start speaking on it. Again, do it for at least 2 minutes and audio record yourself while speaking. Once you do that, take that audio recording and transcribe it. There are also applications that directly give you the WPM. For example, there's an application called Usually and Orai, O-R-A-I, which you can utilize as well. Now, the main thing we're trying to do is when you're speaking, you want to try and speak in an uncomfortably slow pace. The aim is whatever WPM we're on, if it's above 140, we want to go at least 20 points lower than that. This will sound quite uncomfortable in the beginning. And the more you keep reducing that, 20 counts lesser, 20 counts lesser, we want to aim towards getting at least 60 counts lesser to whatever number we are at. And once we do that, we're not going to actually speak like that in normal conversation. But remember, when you practice in an exaggerated manner, when it comes to the real life situation, you're going to default to a higher WPM. So, for example, if you're at 180 and you practice at 120, you're not actually going to speak that slowly, because when you're put in a real life situation, our nerves pick up and we automatically will default to 140, 150 itself, which is a great place to be. So that's step number one. reduce your WPM. And then comes step number 2, which is the addition part to it. This is been a game changer and it's ridiculously simple to do. All you have to do is when you're attempting the readability test or the exercise with the impromptu speech topic, you want to say every word completely. This means really stretching your lips and facial muscles out to say every word and enunciate on every syllable. This will not only automatically help you reduce your WPM, but at the same time, it really works your facial muscles to speak in a clearer format. The best thing about this is it not only helps with reduction of mumbling, it helps you articulate better, and eventually when you do this long enough, even if you start talking in a faster manner and you reach 180 WPM again, you're not going to mumble because your flow of speech will be much clearer. And this allows you to variate your tone and not sound monotonous. You'll know when to go fast, when to go slow without sacrificing on clarity. So remember, if you suffer from mumbling, reduce your WPM and add the pronunciation exercise where you highlight every single syllable just in the practice situation. Automatically, when you get into a real life situation, you'll speak in a much more authentic format, but in a much clearer fashion. One important thing to keep in mind is regardless of us speaking fast or slow, we do not want to sound monotonous. I mentioned a moment ago that it'll help you variate your pace so that you don't sound monotonous, and you want to really double down on that. In fact, there's an entire video we've created on voice modulation that helps you sound a lot more engaging, whether you're giving a presentation or are in a meeting or even having a simple conversation. And you can check out that video on voice modulation right here.